Hello there, my name's Dane Lemaitre, and welcome to another review. And this is a review on another Bachmann engine. However, it's not an underground Ernie one, and it's not a Thomas the Tank Engine one. It is on Wilson from the Chuggington range. Chuggington is a children's show about trains, like Thomas the Tank Engine. It's CGI animated, and in some ways it's a lot more Americanised. Wilson is an American diesel engine. I think it's quite a good toy. I know not everyone in the world likes Chuggington, and I can sort of understand why. However, I think from a children's aspect, it is very entertaining and very good in that sense. And also, I think it's got quite a well detailed toy. As you know, I do a lot of shows and exhibits where I do displays in that for children, and so for them to look at it, it'd be quite good, I think. Anyway, please enjoy the rest of the review. So here you can see I've got the Bachmann Wilson from the Chuggington range, and on the back of the packaging you can see there's two other engines, Brewster and Koko. Koko being the green diesel, Brewster the blue one. You can also get some wagons as well. So looking around Wilson, it's a very detailed engine. You probably can't see it because it's in red lettering, but it says there that it's 2013 that it was made, and that's the Bachmann logo. And there's the wheel set underneath. The wheels are actually similar to the underground Ernie engines that I've reviewed before. I've seen other people's reviews on YouTube of the Bachmann Chuggington engines, and a lot of them said that it's not worth your money, that you shouldn't buy them because they have a cheap sort of plasticky feel. And I will admit that yes, it does have a bit of a feel to it where, compared to the other engines that they've made in Bachmann, like in the Thomas range and the underground Ernie range, it is sort of quite lightweight and does feel sort of cheap. However, though, I think at the same time the detail on the loco is absolutely superb. And with the Thomas range and the underground Ernie range, the eyes move. The eyes don't move on this. However, the headlamp there lights up as it goes along. The same as Ernie one in the underground Ernie range. I've tested the model out, and it runs really well indeed. I noticed though when it first started there was a bit of a buzzing noise. However, once it had been going around a few times and the engine and the motor inside had actually warmed up, the buzzing noise sort of stopped. And I mean, from my experience, it's the same if you've not run a loco for a long time, or if you've bought it brand new. Sometimes they either need a bit of an oiling, or they make a bit of funny noise to start with. But once they're running, they run absolutely fine, as you can see here. Moving back onto the packaging on the locos are quite good, and it's a bit like the Bachmann Emily, in Thomas range. That's really good. The Scar Louis packaging's the best though, I think, in the Bachmann range. And then obviously you've got the other Thomas Bachmann ones, and the packaging's not quite as good, and you don't really have any packaging left. All you're left with sort of is a plastic shell that it comes in to protect it. However, this one's a lot more protected, so I think it's a lot better for that reason, really. You probably noticed the coupling on the back. Again, it's the same as the Thomas range and the underground Ernie range of the coupling. So there's really nice details all the way around, so like the doors and the windows and that. There isn't, however, a coupling at the front. And in the TV series of Chuggington, Wilson did have a coupling at the front just there, that he was able to push out whenever he needed to. The same with all the other engines. Like I said, in the Chuggington range, in Bachmann, you don't really get a good selection of engines. I mean, there's lots and lots of engines in Chuggington, but say, unfortunately, none of them seem to, or not all of them seem to be used that much. Whereas the Thomas range is a lot bigger. I do think Wilson's a very nice diesel, and it's a shame that the Bachmann range can't make more diesels in the Thomas range that I think would look really good if Bachmann made them. I also quite like that with the Bachmann one. The reason I think it's quite precise as well is because Bachmann have been able to use tooling from other American locomotives and diesels to create this, so they've already had the body. It's not been a scratch-built model like some of the Hornby ones that haven't been so fantastic. So yeah, I think it's a really good model overall. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's fair to say, because it does look very much like what Wilson looked like in the Chuggington TV series. I got this for Christmas, and I did buy it from the US. However, it was a Christmas present to me, so it didn't cost me. Ordering from the US can be quite expensive. I'm sure you'll agree. Know from experience. But like I said, this is a really good model, and for me, I think it was worth it. And like I said, at the end of the day, even if it does feel sort of cheap and plasticky, you know, I think the detail itself is actually all there. And looking all the way around the locomotive, you know, it's really good. And at the end of the day, you know, if children see this, I'm sure, you know, they're not going to think, oh, you know, it's just cheap plastic, whatever. They're going to look and think, oh, you know, that's Wilson out of Chuggington. You know, they're not going to be too fussed about, you know, what sort of material it's made out of. Another thing on the back of the box that I noticed as well is, like a lot of the Thomas ones, it does give a warning that there's chemicals that can lead to things like cancer and that. But I think probably the best thing to do is just not to obviously sniff the bottom of the loco or lick it or put it in your mouth or anything like that, and I'm sure you'll be quite safe. Like I said, it is sort of aimed at the older sort of generation that hopefully are mature to know not to put this sort of thing inside their mouth. So hopefully avoid any of that happening. Like I said, I do hope to get some of the other Chuggington ones at some point as well. Like I said, when I do my children's shows, it would be nice for children to see this one instead of Thomas ones all the while, I think. So thank you very much for watching this review. And if you've got anything else you'd like to ask, please comment below. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.